London, a sprawling modern metropolis, alive with the rhythm of millions. But beneath the hum of the tube, under the weight of its glass and steel towers, lies another city entirely. A shadow city, silent, dark, and built not on foundations of concrete, but on layers of forgotten tragedy. This is a London buried by time, a necropolis holding the secrets of those who came before. Every step on its paved streets echoes on the cobblestones of a past that is far from peaceful. Archaeologists digging into this subterranean world don't just find pottery. They unearth the raw evidence of human suffering, a thick, dark layer of burnt earth, a testament to a devastating fire, the scattered bones of those lost to war, and poignant messages carved into stone, last farewells from a world vanished. This is the London you've never seen, a city whose story is written in ash and bone, a chilling chronicle of what lies just a few feet beneath the surface. Our story begins nearly 2,000 years ago. In AD 43, the legions of Emperor Claudius established a settlement on the banks of the river they called Tamasis. They named it Londinium. It wasn't a fortress, but an ambitious trading hub, a gateway to the newly conquered province. Merchants from across the empire flocked here, building villas and bustling forums, transforming it into a vibrant, cosmopolitan heart of Roman Britain. But this prosperity was built on brutal conquest, and resentment simmered. For the Iceni tribe and their warrior queen Boudicca, Roman rule meant humiliation and theft. After the Romans flogged her and assaulted her daughters, that resentment exploded into a firestorm of vengeance. In AD 60, a storm of fury was gathering, a storm that would soon wash over Londinium and burn it to the ground. She burned the city to the ground, leaving a layer of ash that archaeologists still find today. Centuries later, William the Conqueror built the Tower of London. Not just a fortress, it became a place of fear, where prisoners etched final words into stone, knowing they'd never leave. In the mid-14th century, London was a city teeming with life, but its crowded, unsanitary streets were a perfect breeding ground for an unseen enemy. In 1348, the Black Death arrived. It was a terrifying invisible force carried by fleas on rats spreading from dockside warehouses into the heart of the city. The plague was merciless. Within days, victims suffered fevers and painful swellings before succumbing. Society began to crumble as the living could barely keep up with the dead. Traditional burials became impossible. Londoners dug enormous plague pits like the one discovered at Charterhouse Square. Carts piled high with bodies would arrive, tipping their grim cargo into the earth, sometimes hundreds in a single grave. In just 2 years, over 50,000 souls vanished beneath the soil, nearly half the city's population. London became a ghost of its former self, its ground now a vast, silent necropolis, a hidden layer of tragedy that would lie undisturbed for centuries. 3 centuries later, London had recovered but remained a tinderbox of timber-framed houses. On September 2nd, 1666, in a small bakery on Pudding Lane, a single spark ignited the city's next great trial. Initially dismissed as a minor blaze, it would soon become an unstoppable monster. Fanned by a strong easterly wind, the flames leaped from rooftop to rooftop. For 4 terrifying days, the inferno devoured the city. The heat was so intense it melted the lead roof of the old St. Paul's Cathedral, sending rivers of molten metal through the streets. The great bells of the city's churches melted in their towers, their silence a testament to the fire's absolute power. When the winds died, the devastation was total. Over 13,000 houses and 87 churches were gone. The fire had effectively sterilized the city, leaving 80% of London in ashes and 100,000 people homeless. The medieval city was gone, reduced to a smouldering ruin. The 19th century saw London explode. It became the heart of a global empire, a city of iron, steam, and unprecedented wealth. Millions flocked here, drawn by the promise of work and a new life. But this rapid, chaotic growth had a dark underbelly. For every grand Victorian townhouse, there were acres of sprawling, desperate slums, particularly in the city's East End. Here, families were crammed into single rooms with no running water and sanitation that was, at best, primitive. Cholera and typhoid were rampant, stalking the narrow, sunless alleyways. The very ground they lived on was a testament to past tragedies. New tenements were hastily erected over the city's forgotten plague pits and ancient burial grounds, a grim foundation for a new era of suffering. The dead of one century became the floorboards for the next. A century later, a new terror arrived, this time from the sky. For 57 consecutive nights during the Blitz, London was pounded by the Luftwaffe. The familiar wail of the air raid siren became the city's nightly soundtrack. Entire districts were reduced to rubble, historic landmarks became hollowed-out shells, and the docks burned, turning the Thames into a river of fire. Yet Londoners endured. They found refuge in the city's deep places. The tunnels of the underground, never intended for such a purpose, transformed into vast subterranean dormitories. Down on the platforms, a strange new community formed. Strangers shared blankets, stories, and the collective hope of seeing the sunrise. These deep shelters became symbols of resilience, a testament to the city's refusal to break, even as the world above them burned. Today, a gleaming modern metropolis stands on that same ground. But the past is never truly gone, it's just buried. Every time a new skyscraper breaks ground or a new tube line is excavated, the city's secret history is disturbed. Archaeologists unearth the foundations of Roman villas, the skeletons of plague victims, and the unexploded bombs of the Blitz. These discoveries are potent reminders that every street in London is a palimpsest, built on layers of triumph and tragedy, glory and grime. The echoes of the past are all around, imprinted in the very fabric of the city. You just have to know where to look, because beneath your feet in the deep dark earth, the city